Dazzling Pink. The Starstruck Festival only happens once every year for fans and aspiring musicians to enjoy the music from one of the many independent singers and bands that are popular. They always expect new songs after checking the official Starstruck website, and they never disappointed. With most of the vehicles filling up the parking lot, the artists will give them their all to make every year great for everyone. But even in times like these, not everyone is in a good mood to enjoy themselves. One particular 18-year-old adult parked her motorcycle by the reserved for motorcycles sign. Her hair is jet black with a pink streak covering her right eye. She wears a black leather jacket with a necklace with a light blue pendant around her neck. She got that pendant a year ago from her parents on her birthday. It was the only thing they could do for the only daughter they ever had. Her name is Zora Star Pink. When she took off her helmet, she immediately headed to the festival without making any eye contact with her surroundings, no matter how nice they were. In fact, it made her annoyed and frustrated. Ugh, I hate these losers, she thought. Before Zora would head to one of the consoles where the bands are about to perform, she went to the food stands to have something to eat. Out of all the stands available, the one stand that made her feel a bit relieved is a nacho stand. After waiting in a line, which she absolutely hates doing, the person in front of her took her meal and walked away. "So, young woman, what do you want?" Summer Solstice asked politely. The black and pink streak hair girl didn't respond to the question. Instead, she looked at the sign of the types of foods available in the stand. "Did you hear what I said?" "Yes, I did. Don't bother to repeat again," she responded with a ruthless tone coming out. "Hey, I just wanted to know." Zora rolled her eyes upon the response. "I want a nacho casserole." She handed Summer the money. "Okay, but I don't understand why you're in a bad mood." She took the money from the girl while giving her a plate with the nacho casserole. "This is the Starstruck Festival after all, where all the best music is." "I get it," she responded while taking the plate from Summer, "but that doesn't mean I'll make friends here." She left the stand while finding a table to sit at by herself. Summer and the customers in line were stunned from what they witnessed. "Well, looks like someone isn't into the spirit of this festival," Summer retorted. Zora then sat at one table that's completely empty, began to eat her casserole while looking fondly at the festival. For the many options open for the rest of the day and tomorrow, she has no problem missing all of the music she likes. She noticed there are posters representing Post Crush and Dirt Thizzleweed's band, but then there's that one poster in particular that caught her attention. After taking her time on finishing her casserole, she threw her trash away and looked at the poster with 3 girls on it. They are posed with lights glowing on them from behind. The band name at the bottom is what caused her expectations to rise a bit. "The Dazzlings?" She blinked. "These girls are hot. I should give them a try." She took out her map to find the location where the Dazzlings are performing. Once she found it, she immediately took a head start to her next destination. It was way too early for people to watch the Dazzlings perform since they are the last group people wanted to watch in the festival. Once Zora found her destination, there were only about 15 people here with 3 more minutes until the band's next performance. She usually expects about 100 people, but today it was less than that, which made her less mad. "This is a lot better than a screaming crowd," she thought. "This band must be new." As she headed to the other side of the field, it took about 3 minutes until the speakers turned on. "The Dazzlings will begin momentarily," the speaker spoke through his microphone. The crowd slowly turned quiet, allowing the stage to blow fog from the machines from the left and right. The music begins with 3 girls coming from the left side of the stage. The fans are eager to listen to the next song, but as for Zora, she put all her attention on the Dazzlings once they got out on the stage. Indagio begins the song with her tone, while giving the small audience her seductive eyes. Santia and Aria swing their hips at the beat of the song, which made Zora impressed. Jazz music is one of her favorite music genres, especially when she's in the mood to dance. This is very delightful, she smirked. Santia began her part of the song as she continued dancing. Soon the crowd swung her hips after listening to the band's later song. The song gets way better when the lyrics represent the meaning of the Dazzling's struggles in this world. Zora did listen to several songs about change and moving on in life, and she adores it. Then finally, Aria begins her part as the final member of the band. When Zora heard her voice, she only had 2 words to describe Aria: aggressive and lovely. She's really good looking, better than all the girls I've seen in high school, she crossed her arms. Then all the members of the band all sang the chorus of the song, with their fans bopping their heads in the beat of the music. As for Zora, she didn't bop her head, but still kept her impression from before. Just when the Dazzlings are close to finishing their song, Indagio sees Zora at the other side of the field. She usually expects the same old people from before, but never expects an emo to stick around. At the end of the day, she, along with Santa and Aria, will be signing autographs to their fans, and she would be happy to meet someone she has never met before, since she always takes advantage of her curiosity, just like Zora. After the Dazzlings finished their performance, Zora loved every bit of it. Even if she didn't see one of the many other bands in the Starstore Festival yet, she had no problem spending the whole day watching the Dazzlings sing more of their songs. Other than heading to the bathroom once or twice, she stayed at the same place she arrived at. But then it all ended when the sun started to set, and with the moon slowly rising. Zora went to the backstage lounge where all the autographs are taking place. She saw the Dazzlings sitting together, taking their time, signing each autograph from their fans. As much as she hates waiting in line, it would be totally worth it to meet the band she adores for the last several hours. Then Indagio turned her attention to Zora, who just entered the lounge with a smile on her face. Zora took notice. She was aware that Indagio looked at her earlier today, but during an autograph session always seems unusual even for her. When she got to the front of the line, it had taken about 20 minutes for her to get her chance to meet the Dazzlings. Well, look what we have here, Indagio smiled. An emo. And a very hot one at that, Aria added. Yeah, have you ever been around here? Santia added. Zora didn't know her curiosity would ever lead her to this path. No, this is my first time in the Starstore Festival, but I'm so into music. Really, Indagio spoke. What's your name? Zora Star Pink. Upon hearing her full name, both Santia and Aria found it interesting. Zora Star Pink, Santia blinked. That's a very unique name for an emo, Aria commented. Tell me, Zora, did you ever had any friends during your high school life? Indagio asked, which made Zora shake her head in response. 0 friends? Yes, who needs friends? Zora rolled her eyes, while the people from the back took offense from her freedom of speech. She really is an emo, Firelilac whispered. Say, how about after we're done signing autographs, why don't we take you to the hedge maze to have a private conversation? What? The fans shouted from behind in complete shock. You never do private conversations with us, Space Camp called. We're not full-time speak writers. After our performances, get used to it, Aria shouted to her friends. Zora would never imagine she would talk to a band she not only enjoyed, but also just met today. However, she didn't care. When there's an opportunity in her sight, she will always take advantage of it. I'll be waiting outside of the festival, she smirked. Don't worry, we'll remember to get you, Indagio winked with her aggressive grin. Once she, along with the memo, signed Zora's autograph, Zora took her autograph and left the lounge. All the customers left the Starstore Festival as it closes for the day. All the bands and artists stayed in their personal RVs until the morning. Zora waited by the gate of the festival. With the amount of time she usually waited in the past, this occasion was unreal. No one would ever get the opportunity to have a private meeting with a band mostly exclusive to the Star Store Festival. Soon after, when all the employees left the festival, they turned off all the lights. In the next 5 minutes, Santia at dusk appeared to take Zora to the maze. On the way there, the whole festival is completely empty and still, like a dark forest with endless hooting of owls. I gotta say, Zora commented, you, along with your band members, really know how to prepare a conversation alone. Well, it was Indagio's idea. She always prefers conversations during the nighttime, Santia replied. Do you prefer that too? If I actually have friends or a boyfriend, yes. Wow, you really are an emo, and I have no problem with it in the slightest. It took about a minute for Santia and Zora to find the hedge maze. By the time they headed there, Indagio and Aria were nowhere to be seen, but it didn't stop Santia. They entered in the grass maze with the lights still on. From Zora's perspective, like everyone else, it's always beautiful with lights hanging inside the hedge hallways, glowing in many different colors. Don't you just love it when you're walking in the maze with lights to help you see where you're going and to calm you down? Santia turned her head to Zora. Who hasn't? Anyone without a brain won't love it, Zora responded. They finally made it to one of the 4 open rooms of the maze where Indagio and Aria are waiting. You're here, Aria took notice. That didn't take long. Indagio placed her hands on her hips, being patient for the last several hours of wrapping up the autograph signings. I can tell you're really stunned right now. Actually, I'm less enthusiastic, Zora smirked. Less enthusiastic, huh? Now that's something we never expect our fans to be like. Aria crossed her arms with style. Tell me about it. Every time any teen in my high school sees something so awesome, they always cheer and deliver a standing ovation. Isn't that the point of fans adoring something they like? Santia asked, which made all the girls give her annoying glares. That's the point, doofus, Indagio retorted. If you ever recall, Zora isn't the type of person who enjoys the noise of big crowds. Have you ever met a person who hasn't hated a crowd while trying to enjoy a concert? Aria added. No, I haven't, Santia responded. Well, guess what? You're looking at that person and it's me, Zora pointed at herself as she sat on the bench. I love musical artists and bands, but the sacrifice I keep making every time I go to a concert is what I really despise. Noise, noise, and loud noise. She sighed while trying to calm herself down. While Aria and Santia didn't believe how she felt in her surroundings, Indagio didn't flinch, still keeping her smirk, knowing that the conversation had just gotten a whole lot more interesting. Let me tell you something, Zora. The leader gave Zora her fancy smile. Without sold-out concerts or huge tours, bands or artists would never be a thing in our society. Yes, I get it, Zora rolled her eyes. And our friends adore us every time we sing all of our songs. We work our butts off to get a fan base that takes months or even years to grow. Aria lit her eyes. From my standards and advice, I always think of the fans as worshippers who actually have a taste in music. She then pointed at Zora. And you're one of them after spending all your time watching us. Besides, sometimes bands on tour can be shown on live TV and increase the size of a fan base exponentially, Santia added. I know, Zora responded. Wherever I go on a band's website online and read a blog about them being on live television, it's always a relief. Hell, if a band comes to where I live and it's still gonna be on TV, you would still come and see them live, right? Indagio crossed her arms as Zora blushed. What? She yelled. You know what I mean. You know full well a band only comes to one stage once in a long while until the next time. Well, yeah, but... Just when the emo continued the subject, Indagio placed her finger on her lips. If you were an amazing solo singer and we were in your shoes, we would do the same thing. It's true, Aria smiled. Always true, Santia added. After the leader moved her finger away, Zuo had to stomach the reality. Ever since day one, the concerts continued to get louder and louder each time she attended them. As much as she hates being around people all the time, she knew they were having the time of their lives. All the while, she's trying to enjoy herself, but the truth always gets away from her. She realized that Indagio sat by her while placing her hand on her thigh. "You want to tell me why we wanted to have a private conversation with you?" she asked. Yes, Zuo looked into the leader's eyes. "We want you to be part of our band." The emo's jaw dropped in disbelief, but not long as Indagio shut it slowly while her attention was glued to the light blue pendant around Zuo's neck. "I understand you're not much of a sailor, but the way you dress, especially this gorgeous pendant around your neck, is similar to what we had, except in an opposite color. It was like a breath of fresh air straight from heaven itself." Zuo rolled her eyes while smiling. "You must be joking. Do you think I would ever joke? You know I'm eager for you to join." Her attention remained on the emo, while her eyes lit with a grin. Not only did Zuo take notice of this, but it also caused her to make another grin. One which she rarely ever makes. "Come on, you know it would be delightful to have you around. I bet we've met a lot of hot men who would definitely want to meet you." Zuo may hate the people she can't stand, but when it comes to junior and senior males, she sometimes fantasizes herself hanging out with them. "Maybe I'll get one and show them I'm a very good kisser. Now that's the advice I like to hear. But first, I should get some lessons from ladies like you." She then pressed her lips on Indagio's, which made the leader's eyes shot open. For the first time in her life, she's gotten a kiss from a human being who's a girl nonetheless. She slowly closed her eyes while placing her hand on the back of Zuo's head. "Looks like I'm gonna be her girlfriend counselor. Best time in my life." Arya and Santia were speechless, but also impressed. Since Zuo was the one who kissed the leader, that must be their answer to wanting to join the group. When the emo broke the kiss, she leaned back, while Indagio opened her eyes and got off the bench. "Well, it looks like we're gonna give you a bedroom once we rent an actual house," Indagio smiled. "And I barely feel happy during occasions like this." "Oh please, I feel the same way when a man kisses me," Zuo getting off the bench. "So what are we gonna do first?" "You should probably enjoy the rest of the festival for tomorrow," Santia said. "Once the festival is over, we're gonna be giving you some lessons before our next concert," Arya added. "Trust me, it's not easy to be a singer whether you're in a band or a choir." "Don't worry, Arya, I bet Zuo would be a talented member in our group in no time," Indagio smiled. "Right, Zuo?" "Damn right," Zuo smirked. "I guess we all do have one thing in common. There was more than that, but we always have to start somewhere." The Dazzlings and the new member Zuo left the maze and went to their separate ways. Indagio, Santia, and Arya head to the RV while Zuo heads to the closest motel where she can spend the night. All in her mind right now is what life is gonna lead her once the Starstruck Festival is over for the year. Her time is to get to know the Dazzlings is only the beginning, and this experience will be her only chance to show them what she's made of. In all of her life as an emo, she was always shallow and empathetic. But at the end of the day, she loves the adoration of the people who like her for her. When her curiosity grows to an affection, just like hers, it makes her look forward to tomorrow and the world ahead.